A News 10 investigation uncovered reports of animal abuse and neglect at the Ingham County Animal Control and how they cared for dogs in their shelter after a large fighting ring bust last summer. Since that story aired last night on News 10, the calls, the emails, and posts on our social media pages have been unbelievable. News 10's Alani Latang joins us now with more.
We have seen so much outrage since that story aired, and viewers upset, hurt, and wanting answers. Tonight, women who were involved from the beginning are speaking out.
The dogs came in looking pretty healthy and left looking like skin and bones.
The animal control officers, as what I read, did everything they could. And if the director and the upper management did not help the ACOs, they are negligent.
Outrage and hurt doesn't even begin to describe how many feel after our News 10 investigation.
It makes me angry, especially as an Ingham County resident and someone who pays taxes. We're basically paying them to neglect and abuse these animals.
The founder of the local group Save the Lansing, Michigan Pit Bulls, Jamie Hillman, says there's no excuse for what happened.
You have to be able to take care of the animals you take in, or you reach out for help.
The group was formed in summer 2017 after more than 4 dozen dogs were seized from a dogfighting ring in Lansing. Their mission at the time was to protect all dogs from euthanasia. But after these reports of neglect and abuse, the group is now calling for action against the shelter.
To allow that to happen, they should be terminated. If there's no records, what happened to the other dogs that were not investigated? Did they also starve and then turn out emaciated and put to sleep? We don't know. We worked so hard to save them from euthanasia, they got killed anyway.
Ingham County Director John Dinan told me in a previous interview that a lot of dogs coming to the shelter all at once was a lot for his staff to handle, but says he feels they didn't do anything wrong and that he stands by the decisions made by his staff. Group members say they don't buy that.
It's not a good enough excuse.
Well, then they should have had a plan in place, for a big dog fight bust. These things can happen anywhere.
Dinan has implemented a list of items that he would like to change within the shelter amid the Michigan Humane Society's investigation. Hillman says it's already too late.
You can't implement 15 items right away. You should have had these beforehand. He's been there 3 years. He had plenty of time to implement these things that needed to be changed. So did Ann Burns. She is his deputy. You have 2 full-time people. What's going on? Are you sitting in your office? I mean, come on, folks.
Hillman says no excuse is good enough because she tells me she knows firsthand fighting dogs can have a chance. When she was 10 years old, living in South Florida, she adopted a fighting dog after it had been seized.
It just changed when you have a loving home. It's a lot different.
Jamie has a message for the leadership team at Ingham County Animal Control.
My message is you should have done your job. Obviously, you did not do your job. You weren't listening to your ACOs. You were not listening to doctors. You were not doing your job and going and checking on these animals.
The group wants accountability, especially after seeing our stack of reports.
The amount of documents that you brought in, the stack is this big. It's appalling. It's not something that should have went on. And I'm glad you're bringing this to light because everybody needs to know what's going on. Nobody wants their dog to end up in the hands of people that, let these dogs just wither away to nothing. It's unacceptable.
The county controller said they are conducting their own internal investigation. The Board of Commissioners would not comment. We are continuing to learn more into the investigation into the shelter. We will continue to bring more as it develops.
All right, Alani, thank you. Tough to look at those pictures. To see our previous reports, you can go to WILX.com.